Hello everybody, Mckenzie here. This week I've been focusing with you on the 7 keys to living a happier, more fulfilled life. Today is Thursday and it's going to be key number 5. Let's do a quick recap. Sunday was key number 1. It was all about gratitude. Monday was about you focusing on you and getting in touch with what you need. Tuesdays are about living courageously and fearlessly. Wednesdays are about your overall well-being. Thursdays, which is today's key number 5, going to be about your relationships. How are you fostering powerful relationships in your life? How are you keeping things intimate between your spouse and you? How are you creating more vulnerability between you and your children or you and your parent? This is something I've been thinking about a lot recently, and that's because after my divorce, I'm now back on the dating scene and going through this whole process of dating, which, is a long process and can be difficult. But what I find is when I go on new dates with guys, a lot of times we get to the end of the date and the guy says to me, "Wow, I had such a great time with you, really enjoyed your company." And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, of course you did. You talked about yourself for an hour straight, didn't ask me a single question about me. And I think that happens a lot in our relationships. We get focused on ourselves and we're not focusing on the other person. Luckily for me, I've just started dating a new guy and it's amazing. He asks me so many questions about me that I almost know nothing about him because he wants to know so much about me. And I think, wow, I'm really interesting. I have a lot to talk about. And it's more about the way he's making me feel than it is about what I really have to say. How are we creating that in our own relationships? So Thursday will be about a couple of different things. The first thing I really will talk about is communication. How are you communicating effectively with the other people in your life? I come from a background of communication. That's what my master's degree is in. And so I feel like I can really share with you strategies and tools to foster good communication, because I think we get away from it. We tend to, especially in our intimate relationships, we tend to get somewhat combative and we think, oh, well, if that person's going to treat me that way, then I'm going to treat them the same way. Instead of taking a step back and saying, how can I change what I'm doing and what I'm saying to turn this relationship around? Because a lot of times when we change, the people around us also change. It's very difficult if we are being super nice to another person. It's very difficult for them to be mean back to us. A lot of times they're going to change their behavior and the way they're acting in the relationship. Another thing I want to talk about is intimacy and vulnerability. Most of us have been hurt at some point in our lives. We've struggled. I know for me, going through the process of a divorce, I'm a little gun shy getting back into a dating relationship because, I think, what if I get hurt again? What if I go through the process? And the truth is that's always a possibility. I think the better we get at communication and the better we get at being a good partner or, a good person within the relationship, the less likely that is to happen. So how are we taking down the walls? How are we being more vulnerable and intimate in our relationships? Because I think the deeper we go and the closer we can get to people in some of our closest relationships, the happier and more fulfilled we're going to be. I know it's important for me to reach out and love the people in my life. And it should be a priority for you in your life as well. The last thing I'm going to talk about is seeking out relationships that are helping you, that are furthering you, pushing you to be a better person. A lot of times our relationships are very stagnant, and I've heard it said a lot of times that the 5 closest relationships in your life are going to be what your life most mirrors. If you're hanging around with negative people who aren't going anywhere, it's likely that you're negative and probably won't go anywhere. I hate to be harsh, but it's true. If you're hanging around with positive people who have direction and focus in their life, it's likely that that's going to be the person that you are, and it's going to be the person you're going to develop into. How are you seeking out those relationships? How are you developing relationships with the kind of people you want to be? How are you getting rid of those relationships that are no longer serving you? So that'll be the third focus on Thursdays. I hope you'll check back in on Thursdays and learn more about your relationships and communicating with the people in your life. Tomorrow, I'm very excited, is going to be about the sixth key, and that is purpose. What is your purpose in life? How are you focusing on that and moving your life in that direction? Again, my name is Mckenzie Haglund. If you've enjoyed today's video and found any inspiration from it, I hope you'll click on the like button. Better yet, subscribe to my channel. I would be honored to walk this journey of change alongside of you. Thank you.